kicking my maid of honor out of my wedding with 5 days' notice? I'm 23F, getting married in a couple days. Most of this is in the last 2 weeks. My Mo, 26F, M, was in charge of planning my bachelorette party, which I wanted to be a surprise. We live in a city, but none of us live downtown, so I was hoping for a hotel room downtown and having a fun night out with friends, maybe a brunch. Most of the bridal party live locally, but 2 girls flew in for it. When M picked me up 2 weeks ago on Friday, I was excited to see where we were going and what we were doing. We ended up going to M's 1-bedroom townhome and spent the whole weekend there. There are 8 of us, so it was cramped and we kept running into issues with only 1 bathroom. On Friday night we had games and ordered pizza. Saturday we had a mimosa bar, went shopping, ordered food, and watched a movie, before parting ways on Sunday. It wasn't the bachelorette party of my dreams, or a particularly fun weekend, but it was okay, and I appreciated it. Last weekend, my fiancé, 32M, Jay, had just returned from a work trip. I hadn't caught him up to speed on the party, because there wasn't much to report. But when he returned, we were chatting and I told him about the party. He looked confused but said nothing else that evening. The next day, I got a message from M asking to meet up to talk about something. M revealed that Jay had given her a significant amount of money over a year ago, with the intention that it was used to pay for a bachelorette party. It would have been enough to pay for the entire bridal party to do a week-long vacation out of town, including airfare, hotel, food, drinks, and fun. I wasn't expecting this type of event. A weekend downtown would have been wonderful, and even though the party at her home wasn't what I hoped for, I was fine with it because I got to be with all of my friends. She, instead, used the money to pay off credit card debt and hoped that no one would notice. I told her I needed some time to process and went home. After talking with Jay about it, I decided that the best action would be to remove her from the wedding. I came to this decision because I don't feel I can trust her and don't want her to be standing next to me at my wedding. I slept on it overnight and sent her a text saying this on Monday. Since then, I have been getting texts from her mom and boyfriend telling me how awful I am for doing this since I didn't need a big party and M was able to financially benefit. My mom is also against removing her from the wedding, as she's like a sister to our family and it would be tragic for me to get married without M there. The rest of the bridal party is split, with half saying I shouldn't have kicked her out and the other half agreeing with me. M has called me crying because she already has her dress. Jay and I paid for all dresses, and she can't wear it anywhere else. At this point, I want the wedding to be over with so I can be on my honeymoon and not have to deal with these people. Comment 1. NTA. She stole money from you essentially, and it sounds like it was a decent chunk of money too. I would honestly have a stern talking to with your mom and maybe cut off people that are taking her side. This is ridiculous that anyone wouldn't immediately be on your side after she misappropriated money meant for your bachelorette. She also obviously knew it was wrong because she told you out of guilt. ETA, stealing $25,000 is insane. Put her on blast to everyone and file a police report. She also only told you because she was pressured. Cut contact and let the law handle it at this point. OP comment. She didn't tell me out of guilt. After he found out what my bachelorette party was, my fiancé told her either she needed to sit down and tell me or he would. Comment 2. OMG. NTA. She stole from your fiancé and lied to you, and on top of all that she's crying because she can't wear the dress you paid for anywhere else? Poor little felon. Depending on how much he gave her, she probably committed a felony, as in some states the threshold is $1,000. Her mother should be calling to apologize to you for raising a selfish liar as well as criminal. Ultimately, it's up to you on who you want in your wedding. Long-term best friends often get a pass that other friends don't, but bottom line, your friend is crying and playing the victim because she got caught. Refusing to resign a lease weeks before leaving my pregnant sister homeless? I, 23F, have an Irish twin, 24F. We've been living together for 2 years. She is a single mom of a toddler. When we first moved in together, the apartment was only in her name and she let me live with her. I was finishing dental assisting school and couldn't qualify for an apartment on my own. I still paid half the rent and utilities. After graduating and getting a job, I became an official added roommate to the lease last year. I make a lot of money for my age, so when my sister was struggling to pay her half of the rent when her job cut her hours significantly, it was a no-brainer to start paying more. I could easily afford all the rent, so covering another 25% is nothing. Plus I love her and my niece. My sister has no help whatsoever from the father, so I help her as much as I can. He works under the table so he doesn't get his wages garnished for child support. I have watched her struggle to afford daycare and food for her baby, so I also help her with that. 2 days ago, my sister sits me down and tells me she has news. She's pregnant. My jaw dropped. I ask who the dad is and she starts crying. I didn't expect her to say her deadbeat baby daddy. I was shocked and she continued on her explanation. She saw a girl commenting under his posts and she went on her page and saw they had taken pictures at the same place at the same time. The girl also posted him for his birthday weeks later, saying happy birthday to my fiancé. She messaged her letting her know he's a deadbeat and got blocked. Then her baby daddy called her saying she's a crazy bitch, and that led to them getting a hotel room and they slept with each other. All to prove some point to his fiancé that he's not loyal and she can have him whenever she wants, because she sent her proof after they slept together, but the fiancé stayed with him. As she's telling me this story, I just sit there upset. I started asking her if she went to the doctor and how far along is she. She said she did stop by PP and got a scan. She's 9 weeks. We live in a blue state, so abortion is legal here. I told my sister that I wasn't going to be resigning the lease unless she got an abortion. She looked at me with so much disgust and started crying harder. She called me an evil bitch and said I'm a horrible person for making her choose between her baby or having housing. I told her with her hours now she can't afford even half the rent, let alone the daycare she splits between me, our dad, and aunt, so to understand the position she's putting me in since the responsibility is falling on me. She told our family and they're pissed, saying I'm being heartless to even ask her that, and that I shouldn't punish her, and if I should sign at least 6 months so she can get her shit together, since 5 weeks isn't a lot of time. I said no, she's ungrateful for all the help I've done, so I'm out. They're saying I'm in a hole since when I didn't qualify she let me live with her, even though I paid half. Comment 1. NTA, the family can support and house her since they are so concerned. There is no need for you to carry on supporting someone who is taking an advantage of you and has no intention of becoming independent. OP comment. I wish. Our dad and stepmom have young kids, so no space, plus he pays a third of the daycare, split between me, my aunt and him. Said aunt lives in a different state so she can't physically help, but is the main one telling me that I'm disgusting. We have different moms. Her mom is a deadbeat and remarried in a different state, and my mom thinks I should have moved out a long time ago. Comment 2. NTA. Your message might have gone down a little easier if you just said you would not continue to support rather than abort or no support, even if it is essentially the same message, but you are under no obligation to support someone who repeatedly makes poor choices and bad decisions. If she has this baby, who's to say she won't stupidly sleep BC with the jerk again in a couple of years and make baby number 3? She doesn't sound intelligent enough to be a good mother. I hire a nanny to help with childcare after my wife got a new job. My wife, 36F, and I, 38M, have been married for 12 years and have 3 kids, 9, 6, and 4. We both work full-time, with me being the primary breadwinner and earning about 3x what she does. About 4 months ago, she was offered a promotion at her job. It wasn't a big step up in pay, but would be a lot more responsibility as well as being on call 3 to 4 nights a week. When she told me about it, she was really excited and acting like it was a huge opportunity to advance her career. I was happy for her, But I told her I had some concerns about how often she would be out of the house in the evenings and/or how we would have to alter our schedules and routines due to her being on call. She assured me that being on call wasn't an issue and reiterated that she would be compensated for that time even if she wasn't actually called in. I told her that ultimately it was her decision, but I feel like we live comfortably already and the little extra money wouldn't be worth the hassle it would cause in our lives. She ended up taking the job and wouldn't you know it, she ended up being called in about 50% of the time. This resulted in us having to find alternate rides for our kids to do activities, cancelling plans, her leaving in the middle of dinner or family time, etc. I also had to pick up a lot of slack in terms of household duties and childcare. We have never fought as much as we have been since she took this promotion, but she's convinced it's a stepping stone to something better. I floated the idea of hiring a nanny for the nights she's on call so that I have help in the inevitable situation where she gets called in again. Simply having another person to watch the kids if I need to take one of them to an activity or play date, or to be able to make dinner easier or get other chores done. She shot the idea down immediately and told me that me picking up her slack is not that big of a deal and I should be able to handle it. After a 3-week stretch of her being called in 3 nights a week, I told her that I was going to start looking into nannies with or without her agreement. I told her the only way I would reconsider is if she tries to get her old job back or look for a different one because her promotion is not working for me or the kids. She did not take this well. She accused me of being a lazy parent and trying to buy my way out of being a father. She also said that the cost of a nanny would offset any extra money her promotion is bringing in. When I told her it would actually cost more than that, she got extra pissed. She has no time frame for how long she will be in this position at work and apparently has no care for my feelings on this. I'm tempted to just hire a nanny anyway because this is not sustainable for me. I think this promotion has blinded her to how negatively it has impacted the rest of the family and I refuse to just sew it up any longer. Comment 1. I don't understand why you need a nanny for 3 nights a week if you're home. The tone of this reads as you not being supportive and pushing these kinds of issues not necessarily because you actually are feeling overwhelmed, you don't actually talk about that at all, you just say you want someone just in case one of the kids has an appointment, but because you resent her trying to advance in her career and are trying to make some kind of point about how it's an inconvenience. I might be misreading the situation but none of this sounds healthy and what she is doing doesn't sound unreasonable. Unless you're leaving out some significant stuff. Comment 2. NTA coming from someone who has a spouse with an on-call job. We had 3 kids and it frequently came up that at least 2 had activities at the same time in opposite directions and DH was called in or stuck at work. If it hadn't been for my parents living close that could help out, we would have had to cut out the activities our kids had because it was impossible to be at all the activities at the same time. OP comment. Our oldest 2 play hockey and their practices are in the evening. Never at the same time and sometimes not even at the same rink. Coordinating rides for them has been the primary source of me wanting a nanny. I'm asking a lot of favors from other parents and I don't want to take advantage of anyone. There has been at least 3 times when my wife took one kid to practice and had to leave to go to work during practice. Obviously, she got a ride for the kid before she left, but she doesn't see this as an issue nearly as much as I do. Banning my sister and her boyfriend from my wedding. So my husband and I are getting married in December. My sister's boyfriend started asking if he could propose to my sister at my wedding. I obviously said no, because that's our day only. He can propose the day after my wedding, but not on my wedding. But he asked me again, and again. I said no every time. The 50th time when he asked me I said, not only can't he propose at my wedding, but he can't even come to my wedding. Then my sister started to fight over this. She knew her boyfriend wanted to propose to her at my wedding. I said to her, that's gonna be my day and my husband's only. She started to call me names because I banned her boyfriend from my wedding. She said that if I'm not gonna let him propose to her then she's gonna ruin my wedding dress. She even said that she's gonna sneak her boyfriend because she wanted to all the family members be present on her proposal. I said that's fine, she's also banned from my wedding now. A few days later some family members called me to say I'm a heartless person, because I broke my sister's heart. They said she cried because she wanted to be on my wedding, she wanted to see her little sister getting married. They also said that I should have just accepted her wish and let her boyfriend propose at my wedding. Comment 1. Obviously NTA. This is the type of thing that I would, upon receiving all of these family members' calls, just a voicemail greeting thank you for calling. As I am busy preparing for my wedding, I may not be able to answer your call, but I will get back with you when I am able. If you are calling about the situation with my sister and her BF, here is all I will say. My sister and boyfriend have been uninvited to my wedding for the following reasons. Boyfriend asked if he could propose to my sister, I said no as it's my day. He proceeded to ask me so many times that I realized he would do it regardless, so he was banned. My sister then threatened to both sneak him in and wreck my dress, thus she was banned as well. I am not changing my mind and there is nothing that will change my mind. If you would like to discuss another matter, please leave a message. I might send this in an email to all guests as well. Comment 2. NTA, and this bullshit right here is yet another reason people elope. The nerve of your possible future Bill wanting to steal your spotlight at your wedding. And family members backing him and your sister up even though she threatened to ruin your wedding dress. Of course you disinvited them. And you can put their little flying monkeys up for consideration of an invite take back, too. Your sister just wants to see her little sister get married so she can get a ring on it and avoid having to organize and pay for her own damn engagement party. Oh, hell no. NTA. Comment 3. NTA, it's your own day, sister. You get to decide how each and every part of it will go. You simply reacted to her threat of ruining your wedding dress, with proportional and reasonable self-defense, emo. She is more than petty to respond to your threat like such, and her boyfriend is just as bad as he could absolutely not take a no for something that it's flat out your day. Despite all of this, I definitely recommend you sitting down to talk everything out with the rest of your family, potentially showing your immediate family how you should and are able to put your foot down.